Welcome back to the Grand Slam channel. Today is Saturday, September 6th. We got one WNBA game for today's slate, full slate of MLB, and we do have college football throughout the day. But let's head on over to WNBA first, since one of those games is on progress. But the other one's for the late evening. Just have two props. Going with Courtney Williams, gotta be points at 9.5. I think it's a slam dunk for that one. Same thing with Kayla McBride's points. She is at 13. We'll be taking the 9.5. Those are the two best gobbies, or at least the two best props for WNBA today. I think Veronica is going to regress. It's going to be the Lynx versus the Golden State Valkyrie. We know the Valkyrie is a defensive team, so they might shut down Collier. 21.5. I mean, very doable for an MVP candidate. But had a bad game against the Aces, so this is a good bounce back for her. So if you want to take the over on her points, that's probably the best regular prop. But I'm just gonna stick with these two gobbies. Tina Charles was my play of the day, so if you're on my Discord, obviously we posted that early, actually last night. Obviously she blew past her points. But Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, the only two props that I like for the only game left on the slate today. Let's head on over to MLB. Pitcher strikeouts heading to Brandon Woodruff. 6 strikeouts. Like it's gotta be 4.5, 5.5, either or. But his regular line at 6, I like it. Jonah Tom making his second start. This might be a little bit too high. It got bumped. It was at 5. It's all the way up to 6. Had 6 against Miami in his debut. Going against Cincinnati, this might be an under here. Making his second start. Worst case scenario, he lands on 6. But I think he gets 5 in this one against the Reds. I still think he has a quality start, but ends up with 5 strikeouts. Next up, we're going to go with Bryce Miller. Unfortunately, I took him yesterday at 3.5. He was at Gobby. Now he is a Gobby at 3.5. I took him at 3.5. Now at 4 is his regular line. I still like it. Worst case scenario, he pushes. Braves do strike out a lot. Bryce Miller's looking for a bounce back. He's had a couple bad starts, but he's played against 3 good teams: the Guardians, Padres, Phillies, all playoff contenders. So I'm looking for a bounce back. This is the best matchup for him, going against the Braves, who do strike out a lot, top 5 in the league. So Bryce Miller over pitcher strikeout despite the bump. But if you can get him at 3.5 on other platforms, take him. And that rounds up for MLB. College football, there's a lot of value. Obviously, we have tons of games, but there's a lot of value for college football. First one's going to be Justice Haynes. You can see he is in the popular tab. Obviously, his rushing and receiving touchdowns is the most popular. He had 3 in the opener. Obviously, he's not going to get 3 again, but I do like his fantasy score. Even if he gets 1, gets about 70, 60 yards. He had 159. He should easily cash his fantasy. He had 36.5. So Justin Haynes, definitely taking that, even with the matchup. It's a primetime matchup against Oklahoma. Justin Haynes should have, I don't think he's going to hit 38 again, but he should have somewhere in the 20s. So I'll be taking that as my first leg. Malik Murphy, you got 2 options: passing yards or fantasy score. I'm going with this passing yards at 217. Going against Fresno. Might become a blowout if Fresno doesn't play defense in the first half. It could become a blowout. I think Malik Murphy should have a big game. I think he will. Fantasy score or passing yards, either or. I'm taking his passing yards. Next up, we're going to go with is Bu Pribula. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But Bu Pribula, passing yards, fantasy score, both in play. I do like his fantasy. He had a monster game at 37.82. He runs the ball. He passes the ball. I mean, you can have a touchdown or 2 just on rushing alone. He had 2 in his opener. I don't think he'll have 2 this time around. A little bit better opponent this time, but fantasy score 21.5. I'm taking it. 21.5. Passing yards is in play. He had 283, but he can go wild and run the ball. 42. He had 65. So he still managed to get 65 yards and over 200 passing yards. I mean, his passing rushing yards is in play at 269. That could be in play as well. But overall, I'm just taking his fantasy score. Next up is Coleman, another Missouri player, and that is his receptions at 4. Receiving yards could be in play, but his receptions, probably one of the best targets, or at least the favorite targets for View Perbola. So at 4, worst case scenario pushes, but I think he ends up at 5 or 6. And then the rest of the props I like, those games have started. I took John at 1.5 last night. He's all the way up to 2. Cade Kublik got bumped all the way to 250. He was at 240 last night. So a lot of these props have been bumped. But these are the 4 that I like for college football today. So mix and match. Pick your favorite. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the support. Quick video. Don't forget, reminder about that free square we got for NFL tomorrow. We got Lamar Jackson's passing yards. And then check your promotions tabs for today. You may have a payout boost, so make sure you take advantage of that. Other than that, enjoy your weekend and see you guys in the next one.